As I mentioned earlier, a great way to study the art of improvisation is by learning solos. You can also write out your own model solos. And in this example here, I've written a blues solo over a 12-bar form in the key of E. And I've purposefully demonstrated some very typical cliche blues licks and things that you'll hear that are a part of the language of the music, which is what I was stressing earlier. When we talk about the language, we're dealing with certain groups of notes being played together, bends being put at certain points, and the phrasing and the rhythm, and basically all these things put together build the ornamentation of a style and what makes something sound blues or something sound jazz or country. So let's look at the first lick in this solo. We're going to start out with our first finger on the 9th fret of the high string. And then our third finger goes on the 2nd string at the 11th fret. We're going to play those two notes together. This is a third. And we're going to quickly slide up a half step to 10-12. So we get this sound. Now make sure that your fingers stay consistent when you slide. You don't want them to squish together. Up on the tips. And then the rhythm is very particular to this, and it gives you this Texas kind of triplet rhythm like this. 1 and a 2 and a... And we keep kind of sliding that in on beat 1 and also on beat 3. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and then again. And then we're going to descend again with these thirds, this time moving to the 9th fret and the 10th fret. And then going down another whole step, keeping the same shape to 7 and 8. So we're going to go 1 and a 2 and a 3. And when we land here, this is, again, one of the most common blues licks you hear, like, that's used in, like, Clapton plays that all the time. It's used in Pride and Joy, right? So it's just, again, a phrase to note as part of the language. It's like, that's a little lick. You take that and you put that in the bank of your ideas. So again, we've got these thirds in triplets. And when we land on that 7 and 8, we want to just take our 2nd finger and lift it up and just bend a little bit like this. Kind of just giving this flat third a real blues. Again, that's another piece of the language, is bending that flat third. So the sliding thirds combined with the triplet rhythm and ending with this blues bend is going to give you a real distinct blues flavor. Let's hear it all together, nice and slow. And try it with me. Just think groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Another thing that we hear in the blues a lot is repetition. So that happens over the first 2 bars, and then you play the same exact thing again on the next 2 bars. And that covers us for the first 4 bars, which consists all over just an E7 chord. In the 5th bar of the blues, we move to what's called the 4 chord, and that's an A7. We're going to begin by bending on the 2nd beat, the 7th fret. 1. So you bend it up a half step, F sharp here, 7th fret, going up a half step to G, and then coming down, real bluesy flavor. Again, try and get those bends right intact